Morning, Counselor.
Good morning, Judge.
Waiting for one of the people dropped out. We had 4 people entering and one of them has since disappeared. And I don't see Miss Crane. Do you know who Lisa is?
Lisa's one of our witnesses.
Okay, wonderful. Miss Lisa, if I could, I'm ask you to turn on your camera and your microphone for us. I appreciate it. All right, LaFleur, how many witnesses will you have today?
Just 2 witnesses and the applicant, Judge.
Okay, are they all in the room with Lisa or in the room with you, or?
I think 2 are in one location, and Lisa.
I have a Lauren Cross we're admitting now.
Lauren is a new attorney in the firm. She's just going to observe today.
Oh, sounds good. Okay, so we're missing a couple of witnesses then, and the attorney ad litem.
So the attorney ad litem did sign the judgment and send it to me.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she was planning to appear.
I will. She filed a report, amended report, and I see the signed judgment, or I understand there's a signed judgment, I should say. And if she doesn't show, it's not going to stop us. But
Okay.
all right. Well, I guess we're at the 11:30 hour. If you want to call your first witness, Counselor.
Lisa, are you there?
There's Miss Crane.
Let me get my paralegal, Judge, if you don't mind, to call and see what the holdup is.
Please do. Thank you.
Right back.
Tammy Stack. Nicole, we're still admitting people here slowly but surely, so it'll be just a second. I have a Tammy Stack that's joined us. All right, my name is Justin Lewis. This is the County Court docket of the 5th day of March 2025. Court sitting is a probate court called Paul's number PR 15096, styled in the estate of Helen Louise Stevens. At this time, administratively, if I can ask everybody that's going to participate in today's hearing, if you're a witness, you're an applicant, an attorney, please turn on your microphone and your camera so the court can see you. Go ahead, Mr. LaFleur.
Your Honor, I called Tammy Stack.
Okay. Ms. Stack, I'm going to ask you to turn on your microphone and unmute yourself and turn on your camera. There's microphone. We're halfway there.
Oh, my camera should
Yes,
be, is it on?
No, ma'am, not yet. Are you on a phone or a computer?
I'm on a phone.
Usually if you'll swipe one way or the other, left or right on that screen, it'll bring up a little icon, old school movie camera.
Oh, there we are.
Start
Can
video.
you see?
We got Tammy.
Can y'all see me?
No, ma'am.
Not yet.
Okay. It is not, it's not even showing me on here.
Yes, ma'am. He's got to hit that start video button and it'll start it.
Okay.
So she's here, but there's nobody there.
Okay, so.
Just take your phone.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
That is one functionality of Zoom the court wishes it had, the ability to turn people's cameras on and off remotely.
Oh, yeah. Are y'all not seeing me still?
No, ma'am, we're not. Your camera's not on.
Okay. Because it is showing me give me a sec, because I've always been able to do it. For some reason, I'm not now. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so now I'm unmuted. And then now let's see if I can photos. Okay, can you hear me?
There you fine, ma'am.
Okay, so this is not. Allowing my video. I'm gonna log out and log back in.
Okay.
Or
Tammy, you may have to go to your settings on the Zoom app and click to allow use of the camera.
okay, let me try that again because I did that right before we got into the meeting.
All right.
So
Well, if
I'm
Lisa,
gonna log out and log right back in. Give me,
okay.
go with Lisa, and then we'll be right back.
We lost Lisa too, I see.
She said something about Lisa's going off too or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We had the camera. The camera showed or column of participants showed Elisa, but no movement ever on the camera, no response. But they did turn it on, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we've spoken to everybody at least twice this week, so.
It might have happened before. Embarrassing happens.
Oh.
Lisa's getting on her phone because she's remoting into her computer, so she should be back on in just a second.
She's doing what?
She has to get on her phone to do it. She was remoting in from her computer at home and she's not home, so she's just trying to get that in.
Okay, so Lisa was remoting into her computer at home, but the camera couldn't see her, and so she's dialing in on her phone now.
Okay, that makes more sense. All right, we're gonna knit back now.
Sorry about this, Judge. We've had this case filed since 2019, so.
No, I remember it a couple of times over the years, and man,
Yeah, we've had a few non-starts, so, or false starts rather.
Can y'all see me now?
No.
All right, give me one more second, y'all. I apologize. Zoom.
Okay, it looks like we can see the top of your head, Lisa, but that's about it. All right.
okay.
All right.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
We can hear you. Lisa, can you tilt your camera down just a little bit where you can only see the top of your head?
Sorry, I'm short. I'm in my desk chair.
Okay. All right.
Counselor, do you want to go ahead and call Lisa as your first witness while we're waiting on Ms. Stack?
I can. Lisa, is your spouse also there?
No.
We have a missing witness then.
No, Lewis is.
Lewis is not my spouse.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Lewis with you, Tammy?
Yes.
Okay.
I am here.
All right.
And tap that link.
Can't see anything from Tammy.
Okay, it's gonna just give me one more sec. I'm gonna try this again. Video. We're gonna try it on Lewis's phone because evidently mine's not working.
Okay, give it a shot.
Judge, would you like me to proceed with Lisa?
I would. Miss Lisa, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. And the testimony you're now about to give before this court, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? God.
Go to that.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Lisa. Go ahead and call your first witness there, sir.
Okay.
Lisa,
Lisa,
I have to ask one question, ma'am. And can I get you to stand up so I can see you? All I can see is the glasses up top of your head, pretty much.
So sorry, but
Perfect view. That's awesome.
I'll
Thank you.
stand up, I guess.
Go ahead,
Thank-
counsel.
okay. Ms. Richards, are you familiar with the decedent Helen Louise Stevens?
Yes.
And how did you know Miss Stevens?
I knew her as Tammy's mother.
And you've met her and you're familiar with her family history.
Yes.
And as far as have you read through the proof of facts that's before you today?
Yes, I have.
And did the decedent die on October 14th, 2018?
As far as I can remember, yes. It's been-
And was she a resident of Hill County, Texas, in the city of Covington?
Yes.
And are you familiar with her marital history?
Yes.
And was she married to William Allen Ewing in her lifetime?
Yes.
And were they divorced or did he pass away?
Divorced, and he has since passed away.
Okay. And did she marry someone else after Mr. Ewing?
Yes, she did.
And was that person Donald Wayne Stevens?
Yes, it was.
And did Mr. Stevens pass away prior to Miss Stevens, Mrs. Stevens?
No. Yes, I believe he did.
Yes.
I can't remember the order, but yes.
And do you know the children that Miss Stevens had?
Yes.
And as far as you know, were those children Larry Wayne Ewing Sr., Gary Don Ewing, Terry Lynn Britton, Jessica Bailey, Tammy Stack, and an adopted daughter named Michaela?
Jessica is not her daughter.
I'm sorry.
It's
Okay. So Gary Don Ewing predeceased Helen Stevens, correct?
Yes. Gary and Terry both have passed.
Okay. And Gary's children are Misty, correct?
Yes.
Gary,
I don't know the children that well. Sorry. I
But
only
you knew
know, I don't know the grandchildren of Lou.
but you knew her children,
Yes. Gary, Larry, Tammy, and Terry.
and as far as you know, and you're certain that Gary Don Ewing is deceased and Terry Lynn Britton is deceased.
Yes, I do know that.
Okay. And did you know of them in their lifetime?
I sure did.
Okay. And did you ever have any? Now we know, right, that Miss Stevens adopted Michaela, correct?
That was later, yes, as a baby.
Okay. And other than Michaela, did Miss Stevens raise any other person as her child, whether or not they were her biological child or not?
No,
Did she ever discuss the making of a will with you?
no,
Do you have any knowledge of where a will might be
no,
if she did make one?
no,
And do you owe the estate of Helen Louise Stevens any money?
no,
And are you expecting any compensation for your testimony here today?
no,
And have you ever been convicted of a felony?
no,
Have you ever been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, such as embezzlement or theft?
no,
And as far as you know and believe, has the applicant, in this case, Tammy Stack, ever been convicted of a felony?
no,
And as far as you know, has Tammy ever been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, such as embezzlement or theft?
no.
I pass the witness.
Ray, any questions for this witness?
No questions, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm waiting for Mrs. Tammy to come back in some form or fashion. We haven't seen her join us yet. Does anybody have further need of Miss Lisa here, or can we turn her loose?
I believe we can let her go, Judge.
Okay. Lisa, thank you so much for your testimony today. It's very important to get this matter resolved, so thank you. You are dismissed, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Crane, seeing that jacket, are you somewhere it's cold at the moment?
Yes, sir. I am at a golf tournament. I'm not currently cold because I'm indoors, but yeah.
You're rooting someone on, I propose. So, where y'all playing today?
I miss in-person hearings.
There's days that I do, there's days I don't. We had an impromptu in-person hearing this morning, so.
Okay, we have Tammy.
All right. Tammy, you've got it. We get you to unmute. We're in business.
Okay.
Perfect. Tammy, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. And the testimony you're now about to give before this court, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand. Go ahead, counselor.
Okay. Hello, Tammy. Actually, I think this is the first time that we've actually ever seen each other.
I think
after having
so.
shared. Okay.
Hey, Jody.
Hi. Tammy, you're the applicant in this application to determine heirship, correct?
I am.
And what is your relationship to the decedent Helen Louise Stevens?
That's my mom.
And did she pass away on October 14th, 2018?
She did.
Now, it's been more than 4 years now, but when we filed this application in, I think, 2019, 4 years had not passed. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did she live in Hill County when she passed away?
She did.
And when your mom passed away, was she living in a nursing home or receiving Medicaid to pay for her extended care?
She was not living in a nursing home. She lived out on the farm, her property. And my mom was very private about certain things. So Medicaid, I would not know.
Okay.
I don't think she was because she had TRICARE.
Okay, so she had private insurance.
She did.
Okay. And did you look for a will?
We did.
As
all
far
the
as
pro-
you,
Go
as
ahead.
far as you know and believe, did she not have a will?
No.
Now, you said that your mother owned property. Can you describe for the court what that property is?
It's 25 acres out in Hill County in Covington, Texas. I would have to look up the address. I don't have it on hand.
That's okay. Now, did she, when your mother passed away, she was the administrator for her husband's estate. Is that correct?
As far as I know, yes.
And when, was she married to Donald Wayne Stevens?
She was.
And did he predecease her?
He did. He committed suicide.
And so there was property in his estate that was not yet disposed of. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so at this point, you, as an heir to Mrs. Stevens, will be sharing property with the other heirs of Donald Wayne Stevens. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so that property still has to be dealt with and administered and sold off or distributed. Is that correct?
Correct.
So are you asking the court to name you as an administrator so that you can take care of that side of the property?
I am.
Okay. And Tammy, have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime at any level, which would be a crime of moral turpitude, such as embezzling or theft?
No.
And when your mother passed away, did you owe her any money?
No.
Okay. And are you asking the court today to name you as the independent administrator of your mother's estate?
I am.
Now, if you're named independent administrator, you understand that you have a fiduciary duty to your siblings and her heirs at law, and that you have to keep them involved, make sure they're informed, give them an inventory, and fairly distribute, according to the judge's order, her property in accordance with that order.
I
Is that
did.
your understanding?
Yes.
And you're going to be asked to take an oath to do that and to become a fiduciary to your family members. Are you prepared to do that?
I am.
And your siblings, can you tell me who your siblings are from your mother?
Larry Wayne Ewing. He's is the oldest and is still living. Gary Don Ewing. He was the second in line, and he is deceased. Terry Lynn Britton, I think was her last name. Was my sister, and she's deceased about 30 years now. And then me, and then Michaela was adopted.
Okay. So Gary Don Ewing, who predeceased, did he have any children?
He did.
And are they Misty, Gary Jr., Joshua, and Helen?
Yes.
And you understand that you also have a fiduciary duty to them for their share of their father's estate.
I do.
And when Terry Lynn Britton, did she have any children?
Yes.
And were they Eddie and Richard and Jessica?
Yes.
Now, is Eddie disabled?
He is.
And is he
Jessica?
under guardianship with Jessica Bailey being his guardian?
He is.
And does Jessica also have custody of the minor child, Michaela Stevens?
He does.
Okay. And Judge, I'd like to ask the court to take judicial notice that waivers have been signed for all parties to this. We filed one yesterday, actually, and
Okay.
that Jessica Bailey has signed waivers for both Michaela, who she has custody of, and for Eddie Mejia, who is a disabled adult whom she has guardianship over.
Okay.
And
Here the court, just a second. It's looking at these documents and pulling it up in our browser here. Yeah, I can see where Larry Wayne Ewing Sr. Waiver was filed. So the court takes judicial notice of the waivers. Thank you.
thank you, Judge. I pass the witness, Judge.
Any questions of this witness, Ms. Crane?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and call your next witness, Counselor.
Okay. Let's see here. Your Honor, I call Louis Truitt.
All right, Mr. Truitt, raise your right hand. Testimony you're now about to give before this court, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you so much. Lower your hand. Go ahead, Counselor.
Okay. Mr. Truitt, how did you know the decedent, Helen Louise Stevens?
Through Tammy Stack.
And you've met her and you're familiar with her family and marital history?
Partially, yes, sir.
Okay. But you've met her?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. And did she ever have occasion to discuss making a will with you?
Not at all.
And did you Do you have any reason to believe that she had a will or it might be with someone else?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. And did you hear the testimony of Tammy Stack just a moment ago?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is there any question that I asked Tammy that you would have answered differently?
No, sir.
Do you have any reason to believe or know that Tammy Stack was ever convicted of a felony?
No, sir.
Any reason to know or believe that Tammy Stack was ever convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, such as embezzlement or theft?
No.
Other than the children and the grandchildren that were discussed earlier, do you have any knowledge of Helen Louise Stevens ever raising any other person as her child, whether or not they were biologically related or not?
No, sir.
Okay. And do you owe the estate of Helen Louise Stevens any money?
No, sir.
And are you expecting any compensation for your testimony here today?
No, sir.
I pass the witness.
Crane, any questions for this witness?
Just to be clear, you are aware that Helen was married 2 different times and that she had 4 children: Tammy, Larry, Gary, and I'm missing the 4th one.
Michaela.
Michaela?
Well, Michaela, she adopted Michaela, but
And me. Tammy.
Terry, Larry, Gary, and Tammy. Yes. Okay. And then she adopted Michaela, correct?
Right.
And then you were sort of familiar with some of Gary's kids. I guess when we talked, I think Misty and maybe one of the boys. And then you're aware that Terry had children also.
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, good deal. Any further witnesses, Mr. LaFleur?
No, I don't have any further witnesses, Judge.
Okay, good deal. Anything further from you, Ms. Crane?
Your Honor, I would just say I did speak to this on the case. I believe one was Larry's long-term girlfriend, and she grandchildren.
Well, I think we lost her.
I do too. That's okay. I know what she was going to say because I have luckily enough have her amended report of the ad litem here with us today. She's coming back in and out. And finding that she was appointed and further that she finds the information in the application, her opinion is true, correct, complete listing of decedent's heirs. So, hey, Ms. Crane, good to see you again. Cell phone service can be funny like that. We're just going over your report where you've found that the information provided in your investigation, you are of the opinion that the application for the termination of heirship does list a true and correct and complete listing of the heirs of the decedent. Correct? Good deal. Okay, good deal. In which case, the court is ready to make its decision. If anybody's got anything else first, though.
Nothing further from me, Judge.
All right, good deal. Well, the court will find that the heirs of the estate of Helen Louise Stevens are Larry Wayne Ewing Sr., her adult son, Misty Scheisslag, Gary Ewing Jr., Joshua Ewing, Helen Ewing, Eddie Mejia, Richard Mejia, Jessica Bailey, Tammy Stack, an adult child, and Michaela Stevens, a minor child. And those are the heirs of the estate. Further, the court will find that Tammy Stack is a proper person to act as the administrator of the estate of Helen Louise Stevens, and this court will appoint her as administrator as such. Counsel, did you say that there was a judgment with a signature, a countersign? You guys have signed as to form?
I can serve it or e-file it.
If you would, go ahead and get that done. That way you get it to me with both counter signatures on it and I will sign it and get that issued. How many copies of letters are you looking for? The clerk's right there is why I ask.
I would think she would probably need 5.
5 it is. Good deal. Okay. All right, Ms. Stack, have you ever been the personal representative of an estate before today?
I have not.
My best information I got for you, best advice I've got, keep in touch with your attorney. After today, things are going to kind of move quickly. There's a series of timelines that take place, 30 days for this, 90 days for this. Your attorney knows that. He's going to ask you for information about the state. No doubt he already has. He may already have the information he needs. But if you ask for information, please get it to him in a timely fashion. That way he allows him to do this job, and I don't have to do a bunch of expensive and ugly things like removing independent administrators. It's kind of a pain.
Yes,
So
sir.
good deal. And then I award attorney's fees. Ms. Crane, what was the amount of your fee in this matter?
$400 is fine, Your Honor.
Okay, well, if there's no objection, court awards attorney ad litem fees in the amount of $400, and we dismiss the ad litem, Ms. Crane, from this cause. Ms. Crane, thank you for the service to the court in this matter. All right, anything further, Counselor?
Judge, I just need to confirm that she's independent without the need of a bond.
Yeah, correct. That is independent administration is what was pled for and asked, and that's what the court will, and forgive me if I just said administration, the court will allow independent administration and for the independent administrator to act without a bond.
Without a bond. Thank you, Judge. We appreciate it.
Thank
And thank you for the court's patience with us over these couple of years as we got this done.
All right.
And
Thank you.
thank you for